A partially valid, a half-truth, if you will, is
Yeah.
being pushed.
I can't wait to find out all sorts of new and exciting things I didn't know about myself.
So you just hate Jews, bro?
Yeah, you're
It's
just an anti-Semite. Congratulations.
You're
Go
not
join.
What would you say?
Exactly.
Well, that's different. It's not different. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's
That just we are the only society on earth who has the obligation to self-destruct, to blame ourselves for every problem that has ever existed, and we just think of ourselves as the worst human beings who are responsible for every bad.
How many Muslims are trying to stop Boko Haram? How many Muslims were confronting ISIS? How many Muslims, the extremists always win. So the peaceful majority, which I know many, they're irrelevant.
Good morning, misfits. I can't hear myself. Why can't I hear myself? What's going on here now? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Can you hear me? I am pretty sure you can hear me. I think I see the thing. Now we messed it all up. Technical difficulties. Good morning. I can't hear my beat. Oh, I can kind of hear that. Wait, what's going on here? What's happening? Why can't I hear things? Oh no! As you can tell, I did not have a conversation with Sean last night, which I was supposed to do. Hold on. Voice settings, effects settings. No. Okay, I just can't hear myself. All right. Well, I used to do my show like this anyway, so it'll be a little strange, but I'll get used to it. I have to figure this out tonight. I can't. I don't have time. I can't. No. We hear it. I know the chat hears it. Okay. All right. I don't know what's going on. This, you buy this expensive new equipment, and I assume they think that you should know how to use it because you spent so much money on it, but they've never met an irresponsible spender like me. I buy things that I have no idea how to use, which are not even overpriced. I think it's worth the money. It's just, I'm not a friggin' nerd. All right, well, whatever. Speaking of, actually, before we get into that, let's say hi to the chat. All right, good morning, misfits. It's 2A Thursday. All right, we got P Year Out, C Michaels, Kit Kat Mar, Winky Winky Nod Nod, T. Mitchell, United since 1776. Ain't that the truth? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Okay, let's talk. Oh, actually, we'll get to that. We will get to that, won't we? Won't we? Holster your weapon or weapons, all right? It's 2A Thursday. If you've never seen the show before, here's how we do the daily breakdown, okay? We have a theme of the day. We also cover the news. I'm skipping the news today because this one's going to be a long one. I have to cover this problem, okay? I'm going to nip it right in the bud. The bud, if you have a bud, it's about to be nipped, all right? And I don't want to hear any crap, okay? Tough love. It's what I do. I still love you, but do not for 1 second think that I will see behavior in my own community or whatever and not call it out. It's what I do. What do I mean by this? Okay? I'm being attacked for a very reasonable take about the MOU because I'm also seeing some behavior from people that I support and that support me, and I don't like it. So, we are about to get into that. So, but this is also a double meaning because Holster Your Weapon is also the 2A Thursday story that we're going to cover because there's a debate about whether or not carry laws, the way you have to carry your gun responsibly, are constitutional. And the short answer is maybe, right? Because there's and we'll get to that story, but there's a page where they basically are challenging I believe all gun laws are unconstitutional. Okay? And that's why it's a maybe. However, when a gun law crosses over into public safety, you might want to have a reasonable understanding or take on it. For instance, Chud the Builder, oh, we should add that. Oh, we're going to add that. Hold on. Let's add that. We're going to add that. We're definitely going to add that. Give me a second. This won't take long. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Just saw it. Okay, we're going to add that. We'll get to that later. Okay. For instance, reckless endangerment with a firearm, right? Like if you just start spraying your firearm all over the place in a self-defensive capacity or in what you think is a self-defensive capacity, is that a gun law or is that a public safety law, right? What's the difference? Well, the Second Amendment protects the right to bear arms. It means you can carry a gun. You should be able to have a gun. You should be able to have a gun on your persons. But if you have a gun on your persons and you're being irresponsible with it, should the people in charge, right, create some type of, just, hey, we're not taking away your right to bear arms, but we're asking politely that you don't just willy-nilly, think that you can irresponsibly handle it. So we'll get to that. But let's start here. You might have seen this already. Okay? This is a text from Charlie Kirk that was leaked by Candace Owens about a week after he died, I think it was, talking about the Jewish stereotypes, right? The Jewish donors stereotypes, right? How my iPad died. Son of a bitch. It's all right. I'll look at your chat periodically. My iPad has the chat. We have the new setup. ADD. I'll get to that in a second. Okay. On the screen, you'll see these are texts that were leaked. It was between Charlie, Andrew Kovic. There was a few other people in this chat. And Charlie is saying, I just lost another huge Jewish donor. Okay, hold on. Let me get rid of this. Okay, because I want to be able to see your chat. I just lost another huge Jewish donor, $2 million a year, because we won't cancel Tucker. I'm thinking of inviting Candace. Okay? I think that was tongue-in-cheek, right? I don't think he was actually going to invite Candace. But he says, Jewish donors play into all the stereotypes. I cannot and will not be bullied like this, leaving me no choice but to leave the pro-Israel cause. Again, I think that was him just blowing off steam, right? And the reason why I have this on the screen is because I already knew this. This isn't some revelation to me, right? But right now, this morning, I'm going through something very similar, definitely not on the scale of Charlie Kirk. It's not a one-to-one comparison, but I'm going through something a little similar, right? And while Charlie never had a chance to clarify, I can, right? I'm still here. So I want to clarify. I want to show you what I'm going through, how it's similar to this situation, and what I really mean and what I really believe, right? So let's get into this. Okay, so here is, where's my post? Where's my post? Give me my post. Damn it, did I not? Here we go. Sorry. So, I've noticed over the past week or so, right, that there's a lot of Zionist, pro-Jewish, pro-Israeli people, Jewish people, etc., sort of turning on Trump, saying Trump is abandoning Israel, or Trump is turning on Bibi Netanyahu, or Trump is folding to Iran, panicking stuff, okay? Panicking stuff. It's essentially just panicking behavior, okay? And I called it out a little bit. I tried to be nice. I tried to sort of work my way in. And then after yesterday, we had the MOU details officially released, even though we already kind of knew what was in them, if you're paying attention. And then now I see it like turned up to 11 in some circles, all right? These are just some people. I don't know if it's necessarily the majority, but I'm seeing a lot of it, right? So I say, Jews and Israel supporters are being played like a fiddle by people who want them to turn on Trump, and unfortunately, it's working, okay? Yes, You are being played. Okay? Come on, mate. I hear his words. I'm seeing his actions. It'll pass and we'll just blame JD. That's hilarious. Unfortunately, you're correct. I have some people agreeing with me. Yeah, we're just being played. It's not like Trump was giving money to our enemies by calling killers the worse than ISIS. This is the same type of stuff that the America First crowd does. This is the same type of out of contextualization, oversimplification stuff that Owen Schroyer does, that Ian Carroll does. If I see them doing it and I see you doing it, trust me, just because you're on my side does not mean I will not call out that behavior. Right? We feel betrayed, but so should all patriots. This deal puts America at risk. You can have that opinion. I cannot fathom Iran sticking to any deal. We'll get to that. Trump did it to himself. You get the point, right? I'm having a lot of people disagree with me, and disagreements are fine. Disagreements are healthy. I like disagreements. Disagreements is what you should do, right? Then I wake up this morning to this. Now, I just want to preface this. I don't care, okay? But one of my supporters canceled on me. I think it's a little bit coincidental. I don't care about the money, right? I really don't. I don't make money off of this, a lot of money. I make some money, like a little bit. It's like DoorDash money for my internet. I make like utilities, maybe. I do not get paid well for what I do on the internet, right? I do this because for the love of the game, right? But one way you can support me is I have a Buy Me a Coffee link, and you can become a monthly supporter. You can support my ex. You can subscribe. I don't tell people to. I don't care. I didn't even realize I had monthly supporters on Buy Me a Coffee, to be completely honest. I really didn't. I thought people just every once in a while threw me like $25. So, the irony is I didn't say anything super crazy or offensive, but that's only because I was exhausted yesterday. And I was exhausted because I put together the whole, the new desk. I'll show you a picture of that in a second. We're doing a lot of ADD stuff today, but screw it. I'm going to do it right now before I forget. The new desk setup is fantastic. It's amazing. I love it. Okay, here you go. There we go, full screen. Oh, look at that. Look at that right there. That is what I'm sitting at. That's where I'm sitting at. You see the iPad? All right, so whoop, other side. You got the iPad. That's for the chat. It just died. The setup is just a 1,000 times better. I also got some new lights, and they're shining on the back, so I don't know if you guys can tell, but the background, it pops. It's popping. It's popping really well. In fact, I have a picture of that. We will go to that right now. I think it looks way better. I still need to get some better lighting for my face, but we're dealing... Oh, look at this. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. Come on, guys. I am a lighting genius because I got red and blue, and we talk about red versus blue all the time. It's subtle, but you get it. You got it. Okay. I refuse to be in a miserable mood. I work very hard, and I don't care if you're not happy, right? Even when I'm not happy, I try to be happy. Be happy. Stop being an asshole, is what I'm trying to say. Okay? All right. Now, little palate cleanse. Okay. So as I was saying, right? Charlie was not here to I have one more. Okay? My apologies. I threw the show together. I threw the show together pretty early, but then I just added a whole bunch of stuff last minute. I literally did. I was like, no, and I'm putting that in there, and I'm putting that in there, and I'm putting that in there. Okay. Here's what this would be my Jewish donors fit into all the stereotypes comment, right? Some people might be upset about this. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. Okay. So, this girl, Debbie Schulzel, maybe you should make a treaty. I wrote, this aged well, you fucking hack, right? Sorry. Just.
I don't know why you got to do it in front of the kid with the iPhone. All you got to do is say earmuffs to him. Earmuffs.
I love the earmuffs. The earmuffs is the funniest part of this show. It's the best, right? The earmuffs is great. So I wrote, this age well, you hack. This is Pierce Morgan.
But I have heard it's fine. 250,000 of your women are being raped by Muslim, but it's okay.
Again,
it's fine.
utterly ridiculous
Go
statement.
to Birmingham, go to Manchester.
Utterly ridiculous statement.
Go to Hull.
As I've said repeatedly, the vast majority of sexual crime against women in the UK.
Lord Malcolm Pearson in Parliament.
Don Keith, the vast majority of sexual crime against women in my country is committed by white men.
Oh, here we go.
Bullshit. Okay, I can't even play any more videos, and that wasn't planned because I can't hear. I need to get this sorted out with the thing. But back to what we were talking about, right? See, this is just some, just bitchy comment, right? Maybe you should sign a treaty with them, right? So I go, if you guys want to lose people like me, keep this shit up. I'm not doing well today on that. Right? Sit down, shut the up, and knock it the off. Get it? Right? And I'm doing this as a response very intentionally, right? Because Charlie, let's remind everybody, I cannot and will not be bullied like this. You, anyone, I'm not painting all Jews with a broad brush. I'm not painting all supporters with a broad brush. I am saying stereotypes do exist, right? And tribalism definitely exists, right? And if you are going to try to sort of kick me out of the tribe, I will go, you. Fuck you. No. You. I also need to figure out how to mute that when I talk, because I realized when I've been hitting the naughty button, you guys have still been hearing the naughty word, and I didn't know how to. I need Sean Farish to help me with this. So now, Charlie's not here to clarify. I am, right? So here's my clarification. I still love you. Jews, Israel supporters, Zionists, I still love you. I'm not going anywhere. Okay? However, do not fuck with me. Okay? Do not kick people like me out with your tribalistic bull. Got it? Because I'm not the one. I ain't going anywhere. You couldn't force me out of this movement because I don't have that thing. I don't have that thing, For instance, look at this, retard. You're starting to notice. Come to the right side. You're starting to notice. F you too, you loser. Do you really think I'm going to start attacking all Jews and join your Groyper cult? Do you really think that's going to happen because I have a disagreement with somebody on my side, quote? No. The only thing I'm noticing is even the most tribal Jews who would stop supporting me over a small disagreement are still 1,000 times better than anyone in the Groyper cult. All right? Screw you. P.S. You look trans. Am I wrong? The answer is no, I'm not. Look. Here's the deal, folks. Here's the deal. I'm going to try to turn on the chat again because my iPad finally turned back on. Get over here. Come on. Oh, Touch ID. Here we go. Come on. Bring it back. Bring it back. There we go. All right. There we go. Bibi needs to do what's best for his country, just as Trump does. Of course. Yes, 100%, right? So, we're going to talk about the MOU, right? And I did 2.5 hours with George Fontes last night. It was such a great flowing interview. We literally covered everything. I think he might be uploading it today. I hope not tomorrow, because it's such a good. I really want to clip it, and I really want to share it with you guys, because I only have 40 minutes left of this show, but we went really, really in depth about the PSYOP, how you're being played, why you're being played, the actual MOU, the strategy in the Middle East, how the divide is happening, why it's happening, things that I've covered on this show ad nauseum between multiple episodes, all condensed into a 2.5-hour podcast. So as soon as that drops, I will share it with you. But to summarize, okay, yes, you're being played, right? Because there are people who are going to capitalize off of any type of internal strife, okay? And they're going to pump it into the internet, and they're going to flood the news feed with it. And you, some of you, are going to take the bait, okay? What you need to always do, right? What you always should try to do, okay, is holster your weapon. Keep your powder dry. Chill the fuck out, right? Chill out. Chill out. Don't be a panicking. Chill out. It'll be okay. And if it's not, we'll make it okay. Okay? So, somebody in the chat, stop breaking the law! I love that scene from Liar Liar. Great scene. Hold! Another one in the chat. You know, we gotta pull up the chat. You guys are great, right? Hold! Hold! Let's discuss the MOU, okay? Let's discuss the MOU. Because it's complicated, okay? It's not simple. It's not that there is no simple answer to conflict. There's no easy kinetic energy, and negotiations are very tricky, especially when you are dealing with goat fucking inbred terrorists at the other side of the negotiating table. This is not easy. Trump is not perfect. Trump cannot move mountains and part oceans to give you what you want. Dan Bongino says it. There's a crappy, he says shitty. I'll say shitty. Okay. There's a shitty option or a shittier option, right? Trump tries to take the shitty option sometimes. Okay. So, let's see here. And you know what, before we jump into that, sorry, ADD again. And by the way, do you guys see that what Trump has done is he has taken every argument away from every moron, by the way? Have you noticed that? Have you noticed how Nick Fuentes, Iran won, Israel lost, total goyim victory? Then, like, I don't know, like a few hours earlier, I think, the U.S. lost the war. How did we win? How did this? None of this makes sense. Trump said, they all said it was about regime change. They go, Trump wants regime change. Then Trump doesn't regime change, kind of. And then they're like, Iran won. It's like, what the hell are you talking about, dude? Trump came out and said that this was about nuclear weapons, Iran not having nuclear weapons. We achieved that goal. Trump never said that it was about, total destruction, and he said that it wasn't going to be a forever war, and it wasn't. It was a 3-month conflict that was pretty lame, to be honest, right? I mean, yeah, there was a lot of bombs getting dropped, and we talked about this yesterday. I talked about it on George Fontes. 14 soldiers did die, and that's terrible and tragic, but one of my friends, Carl Higbee on Newsmax, he brought up, he's a Navy SEAL Special Forces, and he said, hey, that's what they sign up for. And he's like, and you shouldn't feel bad for them. Also, there's like 200 American soldiers die in training accidents every year, I'm not saying that neither of them we want. I'm just saying that in the grand scheme of things, that was not statistically a huge, loss. I pray for their families. They're heroes. I'm not taking anything away from them, but objectively, that was not like a huge casualty rate or figure, right? So Trump said it wasn't going to be a forever war. It wasn't. He said it wasn't about regime change. It was about nukes. It was. And he said he was going to get a deal, and he kind of did. Now, you might not like every part of the deal. I don't like every part of the deal, but it's also not a deal, right? By definition, it's not a deal. It's a memorandum of understanding. It's a precursor for a deal. Stop freaking out. And yeah, also, Tucker Carlson, look at this.
That's exactly what that
Look at
means.
how giddy, hold on, by the way, look how giddy Tucker Carlson is. It's almost like he's super giddy, right? Which is it just shows how much of how he's just a liar. He's a liar about how he's like, oh, I don't like anything. I don't want anything. Tucker Carlson is a freaking demon at this point. But he's so giddy.
It's appropriate that we release the agreement, and we did send a copy to Israel, by the way.
We sent Israel a copy of the agreement. Well, you sent them a copy, did you? You BCC'd them? We just reached the outline of a peace agreement with the country we are fighting with Israel without consulting Israel, bitch. That's exactly.
Oh, bitch. Right? Tucker Carlson's supposed to be this you see, this is what I'm saying. Trump took every argument away from these people. Every single argument. And Tucker's pretending like he didn't make this argument for the past year and a half. Oh, Trump is controlled by Israel. Trump's controlled by Israel. Trump is controlled by Israel. Israel controls Trump. Trump controls Israel controls Trump. Then all of a sudden, Tucker makes a video. Bitch. Bro, you realize this makes you look bad, right? This makes you, Tucker Carlson, the bitch. It doesn't make Israel look like a bitch. It makes you look like a bitch. Because you were the one saying that Israel controls Trump, and Trump just proved you wrong, bitch. There are a few people I would say that I hate. Tucker's he's rising to the list. Again, Tucker Carlson, right? The Iran war seems to be ending along with uncritical support for Israel, and not a moment too soon. No wonder the neocons are hysterical. Guys, all right, chat. Who would you say in the chat is the picture of GOP neocons? Who's the first person that comes to your mind when you hear neocon, right? I bet we're going to get this in the chat, right? Who is the person that you think of on the GOP side when you every time you hear the word neocon, this person's face just comes into your mind, right? I'll give you a hint. First initial L, Lady Lindsay, Kit Kat Mar, exactly. Lindsey Graham is the number one neocon, right? Always. Yeah, Mitch McConnell. Lindsey Graham. Yep, we got something. A couple people got it. LG. Flimsy Lindsey. Lindsey Graham. Everyone knows Lindsey Graham is the number one neocon in Congress. But right above Tucker, the neocons are hysterical. Lindsey Graham comes out not looking very hysterical. Lindsey Graham, I just had a very lengthy and productive discussion with Steve Witkoff and Peace Missions. After the discussion, it's my opinion that signing the MOU will be beneficial to the United States, in as much as the Strait of Hormuz will begin to open and the hostilities with Iran will stop. Lindsey Graham wants the hostilities to stop. He's hysterical? Tucker is like how many L's are these people going to take? And, you know, we talk about that all the time. It's like they know they're lying. They don't care they're lying. It's not the point about being right. It's the point about pushing a narrative. However, it's hilarious when you get to see that side by side. I don't usually agree with Lindsey Graham. I don't like Lindsey Graham. I am not a neocon, actually, right? I am a peace through strength supporter. I believe in Trump's model of you want another one, right? We talked about this yesterday with our guest. Trump's model is I'm going to hit you, and then I'm going to ask you if you want another one, and I'm going to ask you if you want another one again. And until you say uncle, I'm going to keep hitting you. But as soon as you say uncle, I'm going to stop hitting you. That's Trump. Lindsey Graham has hit him until my stock portfolio goes up. But I agree with Lindsey Graham's statement here, actually, which is rare, right? Whether or not the United States can reach an acceptable, verifiable deal with Iran regarding its nuclear program and other issues is yet to be determined, but I see little downside in trying. Agreed. Because what's the point of just not trying? What's the point of giving up on negotiations completely, right? Because there's really only one option left. If you do that, right? If you don't try to talk at all, you're the neocon, right? You're the one that wants war. I don't. The economic stability that comes from opening the Strait and the cessation of hostilities will create a pathway to peace well beyond the Iranian conflict. Maybe. This is an important statement, and this is a true statement. The expansion of Abraham Accords and normalizing relations between Saudi Arabia and Israel is President Trump's and my ultimate goal. I think this is best achieved by creating economic stability for the United States, the region, and the world, as well as the cessation of hostilities. The signing of the MOU is an essential step to make that happen and thus is worthwhile. Right? Now, what is the MOU? Right? What is the MOU? Because this is what a lot of people also don't understand. A lot of people, you keep on saying the word deal. Right? You keep saying deal. Deal. It's not a deal. What this memorandum of understanding is, right? It's essentially, you could wipe your ass with it. It's a piece of paper that says, we're gonna make a deal, right? It is not the deal, but it is outlining parameters of a deal, and while it's essentially an extension of the ceasefire in writing. That's all it is. It's an extension of the ceasefire in writing. Trump has not given anything, really, kind of, and there are things that I don't like in it, okay? But we need to understand what's in it. We don't need to cherry pick the thing that we don't like and spurg out about it. We need to read it holistically. We need to look at it with a full zoom out perspective. So let's go through it. Number one, the United States and the Islamic Republic, blah, 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 their termination of this is ceasefire. Number one, ceasefire, okay? I'm summarizing. You're going to have to read this on the screen. We don't have the time in the show to read every word. I'm going to summarize these points for you. Number one, ceasefire, okay? The refrain from the final deal will confirm the permanent termination of the war. Final deal. This is not the final deal. The final deal has not been signed because it hasn't even been fully negotiated. This is a memorandum of understanding, not a deal. Number two, they will respect each other's sovereignty. Pretty much number one. Okay. Number three, they will commit to negotiating. Okay, number 1, 2, and 3 could have been put together. Number 4, I'm not a huge fan of this, but it's a negotiation. You might not get everything you want. There's two sides. I know, I get it. I already get it. The other side sucks. I get it. That's how you'd make deals. You deal with horrible people. Number 4, immediately signing, the U.S. will begin removal of the naval blockade, and they will fully end the naval blockade within 30 days. Okay? During this period, traffic will be restored. This is a good thing, believe it or not, right? I don't know about it, but it's a good thing, I think, in terms of your gas is going to get cheaper, oil's going to start flowing, and worst case scenario, we just send the ships back in. Number 5. All right, the Republic of Iran will use its best efforts for safe passage of commercial vehicles, right, with no charge for 60 days only. Now, people are saying that because it says 60 days only, they're just going to start charging tolls after 60 days, right? If you look at this negatively, you will get a negative connotation out of it. If you look at this negatively and you don't do the research and you don't figure out whether or not you're freaking the fuck out over nothing, you will come to your conclusion. If you have a predetermined conclusion where you wanted war and now you're not getting it, you might not be happy. But here's the deal. They're not going to be able to charge the tolls that they were because the other regional partners aren't going to pay them. This deal is essentially Iran tapping out. Okay? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll try. Maybe the conflict will resume, and we'll get to that, right? We have 22 minutes left. We're still in good shape. All right. Number 6, America undertakes regional partners develop definitive mutual. Okay, this is the one that everyone is losing their mind over, right? A mutually agreed upon plan with at least $300 billion for reconstruction and economic development of the Republic of Iran. This is something they had to do, to throw in there. Iran would never make a deal without some type of reconstitution. We destroyed everything. It'll take them a decade minimum to build back any part of it. And $300 billion, believe it or not, it's not that much money. It's not for a country. Not for a country that had their entire Navy and Air Force and infrastructure completely obliterated. $300 billion is not that much money, right? Now, I know when you give them Republic of Iran, they're not going to use the $300 billion to feed the poor. They're going to try to build back up, which is why if you have a deal that says, if we see you do that, we'll bomb you again, then it's an incentive to maybe give some of that $300 billion to the people of Iran. Maybe. It really is. This is a framework for saying we're giving you an opportunity to live. And if we're going to give you this opportunity to have the $300 billion, and we're going to watch what you do with it. And you just went through we just slapped you around for 3.5 months, right? And the peace through strength negotiation strategy is, do you want another one? So the $300 billion if you just shorten it down like he's giving them $300 billion, that sounds bad. If you look at it holistically, it's not terrible, but I don't like it either. I don't like it. However, that's how deals work. You got to give and take. You have to. Number 7. The United States of America undertakes to terminate all type of sanctions. This one, again, people don't like, but it's just the same argument as number 6. Same argument as number 6, right? It's their money. We're not going to give it all to them in like a check. Like, we're not going to drop it in a pallet of cash like Obama. All of this is contingent upon Iran being watched like a hawk by us, America. And if they screw around, if they F around, they're going to find out. Now, a very important caveat to those arguments is Trump's not going to be president forever, right? But he is going to be president till 2028, okay? So, what I would like you to do for a minute, before you turn on Trump and before you say, you betrayed us, right? Ask yourself what 2.5 years of peace could look like, right? If you think that this is kicking the can down the road, okay, ask yourself what 2.5 years of peace could look like under this, quote, deal that's not a deal. We'll see the deal. Hopefully the deal is better. Could economic prosperity over the next couple of years maybe change some minds? Have you seen what's happened in Venezuela? Trump went in and he took Maduro, and then he kept the Maduro regime in Venezuela. And he said, if you F around the way Maduro did, do you want another one? And they went, no. No. Right? They're raising the American flag at the embassy. Their country is prospering. It's becoming better over just the past 6 months to like 6 months or so. Not even 3 months. There's a lot of positivity moving in Venezuela. So while Trump is not going to be president forever, if he's able to keep them in check for 2.5 years, and this plan actually starts to growing legs, then yeah, maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough to kickstart it. I don't trust Iran. I don't trust the IRGC. Don't get me twisted. I'm just saying that maybe he's smarter than you. Maybe he knew what he was doing here. Maybe he knew what he was doing there in Venezuela. We'll see. But there's no reason to freak out and just doom and gloom and black pill and oh my God, I can't believe, because you would have handled it differently. Let me explain something to you, right? You might have effed it up worse. Your plan might have been the worst plan. I'm not saying Trump's plan is the best plan. I'm saying you might not be as much of a geopolitical expert as you think you are. What do you do for work? Right? Stay-at-home mom, nurse. I'm a freaking contractor. I'm not a geopolitical expert. I'm reading common sense to you. I'm just breaking stuff down. I'm not telling you what I would have done and how I would have done it better. All right, number 8. The Islamic Republic of Iran reaffirms that it shall not procure or develop nuclear weapons. Procure is a very important distinction between develop, right? Develop means build. The JCPOA was allowing them to build, right? Trump took that away. But what about buying weapons? They can't procure them either. If they buy a weapon, deal's off. Remember, this deal holds them, this MOU holds them to account, right? There's very little downside for us because we can always just start it back up again. And after the midterms, right, if this is a political move, and I believe it's partially political, right? If this is a political move to lower your gas and create peace and calm everybody down before the midterms because we need to win and we need to think long game, if that's all this is, then Trump is probably just going to go right. Trump has proven that he is not afraid to bomb the absolute shit out of them. He's proven he's not afraid to do that. But he's had a lot of backlash, and we do have the midterms coming up in 5 months. So maybe it would be politically advantageous to wrap this up by November, where we have cheaper gas and a bunch of people are going, you know what, actually, I do like him. And then after November, maybe be like, you know what, dude, I don't have anything stopping me now. What do you think? Do you think Iran's not going to know that? Do you think Iran's going to go, we should totally mess around after November? No, they should. They'll be like he'll be worse. He'll be worse, right? I'm just saying you got to look at this whole thing. You got to stop focusing on the thing that you don't like about it, because there are things that I don't like about it. We're gonna get to that. I think it's coming up in 2 more. Okay, number 9. Pending the final deal, the United States of America agreed to maintain the status quo. That's number one. Essentially, 1, 2, 3, and 9 you could have all put in one paragraph. 6 and 7 you could have put into one paragraph, but I'm sure they like to break it up so it looks more complicated than it is. Number 10, I don't like this. The United States of America undertakes that immediately upon signing of the MOU, the U.S. Department of Treasury will issue waivers for the export of Iranian crude oil, petroleum products, and derivatives, including banking transactions, etc. I don't like this. I like a whole bunch of other things, though. Right? I don't like this, but I understand that it's probably... You think we're going to be able to just go, here's all of our wish list things, right? And Iran's going to go, okay. No, Iran probably said, I want this, and this. And Trump probably came back and was like, we'll give you this. One. We'll give you this. And we'll let you keep your military, we'll let you keep your ballistic missiles. We'll give you some, it's their money, by the way. We're not giving them any money. Okay? Sanctions, we are taking their money and holding it. It's kind of like stealing. And I'm not saying, no, we should. I'm not saying that it's the good kind of stealing, right? But we kind of are stealing their money, right? We're stealing their money. Totally should. But we are stealing their money. And basically we're saying, we'll stop stealing you. We'll stop stealing your money, is what it says. I think we should. I think we should keep stealing. I think we should be pirates. And by the way, I'm just reading you what this plan is. We talked about this earlier. Maybe your plan was worse. My plan would have been turn them into a sheet of glass in January, right? That would have been my plan. But I can acknowledge maybe Trump's plan is better. I don't know. Maybe my plan would have been better. But I'm not there. I'm not in the Oval Office. Nobody voted for me. Number 11, I don't like this either. I do not like this. Okay, so we've gone through all of these, and I've been able to sort of go, okay, all right, and then no, and no. I don't like this. I don't get what I want either. Okay, are we okay? Everybody okay? Are you okay? Are we okay? Are you okay? Are you going to be okay? Number 11, the United States of America undertakes to make fully available the use of frozen or restricted funds and assets under implementation of this MOU. Okay, the United States of America and Iran mutually agree on the procedures related to the release of fundings during negotiations. They shall be made usable for payment to any ultimate beneficiary designated by the Central Bank of the Islamic Republic of Iran. The United States of America undertakes to issue all necessary licenses and authorizations accordingly. Okay? So I don't like giving them things, right? But number 10 and 11, we are giving them things. Okay? I don't like it. But it's a deal. It's not a deal. It's a negotiation. It's a memorandum of understanding. It's give and take. It's how things work. Okay? We don't get to be perfect and happy in everything we want, right? What is the trade-off for your way? Okay? Because, and I already know what your way is. I'm not talking about I'm talking about if the shoe fits, laces. Okay? We should just bomb them. We should take Karg Island. We should do this. We should do that, right? We shouldn't negotiate at all. We should go straight to kinetic energy. Okay. You know what that trade-off is? Boots on the ground. I said months and months and months ago, I did not want boots on the ground. I wasn't lying. I never wanted boots on the ground. I didn't want a forever war. I did not want to see American soldiers coming back here in flag-draped coffins, and neither does Trump. Your way kills my fellow countrymen. I'm not okay with that. This way maybe doesn't. So, do we have to give them some things if we want to avoid that? Yeah. Is this deal what Israel wants? Maybe not. Maybe Israel is willing to sacrifice their soldiers. Okay. Let them do that. Right? Israel is an ally. Israel is our friend. We like Israel. I love the Jews. I love the people there. I want them to thrive and survive. But I am an American. I am an American, and I love my countrymen more. And if the trade-off is that, I'm not going to be okay with it. All right? I've never lied to you. I never said I wanted a kinetic war. I wanted bombs dropped. He dropped bombs. I wanted their leadership dead. He killed their leaders. I wanted an end to this war. He's ending it. I wanted them never to have nuclear weapons. They're not. Trump kept his promises to me. And by the way, again, he completely made every moron on the woke right look exactly like they are, morons. Because they said that it was all about the other thing. They said it was all about Israel. They said it was about a forever war. They said it was about regime change. It wasn't. He didn't lie to you. If you don't like what he did, that's fine. You can have that opinion. He didn't lie to you. He said help was on the way. He sent help. The Iranians didn't uprise. They should have. And they tried. And they are brave people. But they didn't do it. Number 12. The United States and the Republic of Iran agree that an executive mechanism will be established to monitor a successful implementation. All right, so this is just procedural stuff. 12, 13, and 14 is all just procedural stuff. Okay? Implementations and endorsement of a binding resolution. So basically what we have is we have a memorandum of understanding that is going to essentially give a 2-month buffer zone where they can put together a deal, and in that deal, both sides will get some things, but America will get way more things. And potentially, I'm not saying definitely, potentially, this might work. And then how stupid are you going to look? The people that are like, this is just good. This is a horrible deal. Well, maybe, but what happens if it works? What happens if it works? Did anybody ever try to ask that question? What happens if it works? What happens if the Gulf states and the expansion of the Abraham Accords leads to a great relationship between Saudi Arabia and Israel? Qatar and the Gulf states keep Iran in check. The new regime, which is like thrice removed from the old regime because Trump fucking killed them all, right? They actually go, you know what? We kind of like breathing. And what happens if they just go, yeah, you know what? Screw it. I do like money. And then we're going to be able to give a process. Got to remember, this IRGC is not the old IRGC. There was a regime change, right? I'm not saying this IRGC is good. Didn't say that. I'm just saying it's not the old one. And I honestly don't think Khamenei's kid is alive. I think he's dead. Where the hell is he? All right, he might be alive. I don't know. All right, we got to get to the final story. I mean, I told you that was going to be tough to cram everything in today, but I needed to make sure I got through that whole thing. Okay, so here's the story. Let's see here. Really quick, Cheddar Bob the Builder, his bond got revoked. He's really, he's definitely. All right. Yeah, his bond got revoked. He's staying in jail, like I said he would. I'm gonna go back and find Amiri King's message with me where I go, he ain't getting out. All right. We got that. I wanted to cover this, but really quick. There's 90. All right. I don't have time. We got 4 minutes left. Okay. There's that. They're freaking out about the reflecting pool. Okay, here we go. So, the Firearms Policy Coalition is suing Texas because of a Texas holster ban. All right. Now, I live in Texas. I'm aware that I have to have my gun in a holster. Okay, our gun laws unconstitutional? Yes, right? Our safety laws unconstitutional? No, right? Can you willy-nilly just have a loaded firearm tucked into your sweatpants where if it drops and goes off, accidental discharge, flies into the forehead of a little 5-year-old girl that's just riding her bike? Is that okay? No, right? Safety laws are made for a reason, okay? We have seatbelt laws I think are stupid, right? I think that's dumb, right? But think of it like that, okay? I think seatbelt laws are stupid. I don't think holster laws are stupid. And I think there's other things that you could bitch about. But essentially, this is the holster law, right? Texas does not have a holster ban. Rather, state law mandates that a handgun carried openly in plain view must be secured in a holster. Essentially, it just means that, like, if you're literally waistbanding a gun while your shirt's tucked in and you don't have it in a holster, technically you could get a fine. Like, they would be like, yeah, I mean, and by the way, you should. It's stupid not to. Like, if you're literally just raw dogging a 9mm near your pee-pee, then yeah, stupid. Don't do that. But I mean, yeah, like, I don't know, man. Also, there is no legal requirement to use a holster if the gun is concealed. I pocket carry. I got my Derringer here. I think I'm streaming on YouTube, but you see a little handle there. I got my Derringer. I can put it in my pocket. I have my little Pug 22. I put it in my pocket. I have a Bodyguard that I sometimes will pocket carry, and I don't use a pocket holster. I just have it in my pocket. So and that's not illegal either. So essentially, this seems like, you know, a lot to do about nothing. It's like being barred from your possession of a handgun without it being properly holstered is nonsense. I don't know, man. I think that there's a lot of hardliners in the 2A community, and I think that you can have common sense. You can have a lot of common sense with your gun, with how you like the pick your battles, right? Like, I mean, there's another one where they're trying to go after Texas because of the 5150 rule or the 5149 rule. Oh shit, it's 859. That's the one where alcohol. I think that one's legitimate, where if you are entering an establishment that's 51% alcohol sales, you can't have a firearm. I think that's BS. If you're drinking, though, I like the law. So if you're a sober person in a bar, you should be able to have a gun, right? And that's the other one. But I'm running out of time, but I wanted to get to that freedom index. Maybe we'll save this one for next week, but we'll cover this. Sean Farish is coming up next with Ungoverned. The clock just struck 9 a.m., so I'm off to work. Let's do a quick shout out. Winky Winky Nod Nod. Mark's Madness. I love that name. One Sandman. Bumba. Bucklebrush Jones. Great Guy Gary. Winky Winky Nod. I think I already said that. All right. We'll see you later. Sean's up next. Enjoy the show. Peace.
A partially valid, a half-truth, if you will, is being pushed.
I can't wait to find out all sorts of new and exciting things I didn't know about myself.
So you just hate Jews, bro?
Yeah, you're just an anti-Semite. Congratulations.
You're
Go
not
join.
What would you say?
Exactly.
Well, that's different. It's not different. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
that just we are the only society on Earth who has the obligation to self-destruct, to blame ourselves for every problem that has ever existed, and we just think of ourselves as the worst human beings who are responsible for every bad.
How many Muslims are trying to stop Boko Haram? How many Muslims were confronting ISIS? How many Muslims, the extremists always win. So the peaceful majority, of which I know many,